Hey, what's up YouTube? So today we're gonna have a little bit of a cooking video. I'm gonna be making some spare ribs with some homemade wet paste rub that we're gonna be using. And then just gonna talk to you a little bit about some upcoming stuff I have going on. I know it's been a little while since I've talked to you guys, but I got some cool projects coming up. So let's get started, shall we? First thing we wanna do here is preheat your oven. Now, I'm gonna be cooking the ribs at about 340 degrees, but my oven does run about 10 degrees cooler than what the temperature says on here, so I'm going to be setting mine to 350. Take about 10 minutes to heat up here. So a few items you guys are going to need to be able to cook these. First thing is going to be obviously a rack of ribs. So here I got some Publix ribs. It's a about 3.5 pound slab of ribs, and they were previously frozen, so I defrosted them in the fridge overnight. So those are good to go. You're going to need a piece of tin foil, aluminum foil. It's going to be big enough to wrap the whole slab of ribs in. And then you're going to need some kind of a tray to put the ribs on. In this case, I'm just using a baking sheet, but I do line it with foil because if this dripping gets out, it will probably ruin your baking tray. It'd be very, very hard to get off. So that's what I do. Kind of gives you double protection. Other stuff you're going to need is some dry rub, but in this case we're not just doing a dry rub, we're actually going to be doing a wet rub. And in order to do that, we're going to mix it with some bourbon. So in this case here I got some Benchmark Foolproof. This is 125 proof bourbon, nice and strong stuff. Typically cooking at 350 degrees, you should end up with about 5 to 10% alcohol left over, so technically there still will be a little bit of alcohol on the ribs, but it's going to be some good stuff. So we're gonna make this into a paste later. I'll show you guys how to do that. And then the last thing you're gonna need is just some barbecue sauce. After we cook this thing up, we're gonna go ahead and be taking off the foil and just putting a light coating of barbecue sauce on top and kind of broiling that. Get it this nice like caramelized barbecue top on it. It's gonna be really good. So we got about 6.5 minutes left on the preheat here. So let's go ahead and open up our ribs. This rib here already has a membrane taken off the back, so we don't have to mess with that. So I'm just gonna open this up and put it on aluminum foil. I'll be right back. All right, so we got a big, beautiful slab of ribs right here. We're just gonna place it right down in the middle of our foil. All right, now that we got our ribs here on the aluminum foil, what we're gonna do next is actually take our dry rub mixture here, and we're actually gonna go ahead and put in a little bit of our bourbon, in this case Benchmark Foolproof. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour in just enough of this so that it turns into like a paste. We don't want it to be watery per se. We just want it to be kind of a paste that we can rub on. Mix that nice and good, and you can see here, it's kind of like sand mixture almost. Like you don't want it to be muddy, you want it to be almost like a sand mixture. So now that we got that, we're just gonna take this and spread it out over the ribs. Don't worry about spilling it because all this is gonna get wrapped up and it's all gonna get cooked in, so not gonna be a problem. Next thing you're gonna do here, you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna get nice and dirty with it. You're gonna rub this in. You're gonna rub your meat nice and good. Make sure you get that rub in everywhere. I like to take a little, rub it on the bottom, rub it on the sides. You wanna get a nice good coating of this stuff on there because this is gonna make the difference in the end. All right, now I got my hands washed. We're just gonna go ahead and take all the foil, and wrap it around, just like so. Then we're just gonna take these ends and fold it up. Oh, we got a little bit showing there. That's not good. Looks like we got a rip in the foil here, boys. Time to grab a second sheet. All right, now this thing is double wrapped for protection because, as you can tell, that meat poked right through that first layer of protection. Oven's just about preheated here. So let's go ahead and dump this thing in there and let her sit for about 2.5 hours or so. Then we'll come back and check on her. Figure we got some time to chat here since the ribs have about 2.5 hours to cook. I got my buddy Charlie here. Charlie, you gonna come here and say hi? Yeah, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? All right, so it's been a little while since I've chatted with you guys. Really, I just started my new job a little bit ago. It's been great. It's been a lot better work-life balance. But I've been trying to focus on getting some studying done for some new certs that I need to get. Also working around the house a lot. Big projects around the house going on. I got my fence that's going to be going in hopefully in the next like 2 months or so. Basically what's happening is I got quote paid for it. Well, it's half paid for. They're doing the permit right now, which takes about 3 weeks out here in Seminole County. And then once that's done, then they basically move forward with ordering the material and everything, and new fence will be up in the backyard, which is fantastic news. I'm really, really excited about that. And then after that, I'm going to be getting some sod put in. Another big thing that's changed recently is I actually started mowing my own lawn for the past, man, it's probably been like 6 years, 7 years, something like that. I've had a gardener. To be honest, never did that great of a job. You know, he really didn't do the bushes that often. I ended up having to do them, so I was just like, you know what? I'm trying to lose weight, trying to get better. So went and bought a mower, and then finally decided, you know what? It's the hottest time of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel my lawn service, because that makes a lot of sense on when to get started back into it. But I did mow my lawn this week. Did it during a lunch break. Turned out actually really nice. Pretty excited about that. It's a little bit of work, but it feels good. Also working on the garage, trying to get that all cleaned up. Right now, the right-hand side of the garage is, I don't know, probably like 25–30% done. I got a little bit more work to do over there, but hopefully I'll be able to get that done here in the next week or two. And once the right side's done, then I gotta work on getting the boat emptied out, and then the left side. But it's coming along. It's coming along. The inside of the house as well. Got a lot of stuff going on in here. Basically, we're redoing most of the rooms in here. As far as going through and literally getting rid of anything old that I don't need anymore. Sorry about that. My dog was freaking out about a box that fell over that's next to him. As far as YouTube goes, I really have been kind of trying to figure out how to be better on YouTube. Not about getting the views. It's not about, you know, getting subs, although don't get me wrong, I like both of those. It's really about how do I get better on YouTube as far as being comfortable in front of the camera, as far as having creative ideas and not getting like roadblocks. How to be comfortable in public's a big one. I don't know that I'm going to get comfortable in public anytime soon. So one of the things that I've been trying to do is come up with ideas that I can maybe do in my house, or maybe do in places where there's not a lot of people, to kind of get more comfortable. And then as I do get more comfortable, maybe switch over to being in front of people more. So I really want to focus on a few things here. One is obviously the weight loss and kind of home vlogs, but really want to focus on that a bit. I got my weight room weight rack set up, so all the weights are on there now finally, which is fantastic. And that felt really good to get that set up. The other YouTube thing I'm working on is a kind of a special project that I'm going to be doing here for other creators. And you know, especially even before COVID, but especially since COVID, like watching YouTube and watching other creators and really watching what they go through. You know, I think one of the things that's good about what happened with COVID and everything that changed, and you know, the challenges that people go through, is it really did open up a lot of people to kind of helping out other people, you know, when they need it. And a lot of people did that through YouTube. You know, there's a lot of creators out there that posted videos that made other people feel good, or, you know, talked about some of the challenges that they're going through or they went through, and how they can help other people. And, you know, I'm not a big creator. You know, a lot of the people that I watch are 50, 60, 70, 100K, million subscriber range type of YouTubers. I'm nowhere near that, but you know, I figured why not do something that can help them out a little bit, because you always see these creators helping other people, and you know, I want to do something for them. So I got a YouTube series coming up where I'll be doing some cool stuff for some creators that I watch regularly. So stay tuned for that. I have a cruise coming up in September, and it's only June right now. So I'm really hoping to lose some weight for that cruise. I'd love to be able to go ice skating on that cruise if I can lose enough weight, and then maybe do some other activities as well. I will see you guys back in about 2 hours for the barbecue sauce topping on the ribs. So I'll see you then. All right guys, so it's been about 2.5 hours. So we're going to take the ribs out here, and we got to get ready to put some barbecue sauce on them. So we're just going to take them out here and put them up on top. I'm going to open this up, be nice and careful because it will be hot. Oh, look at that steaming ribs. Oh yeah. Look at that. Zoom in there a little bit for you. That's pretty much what we're looking for there. Alright, so next thing I like to do here is just kind of trim back some of the aluminum foil. I'm just going to do that by hand. You can use what barbecue sauce you want, but I like me some Sweet Baby Ray's. I just use a regular sauce for this particular recipe because of the bourbon. If I was doing like a sweet rub or something, I might grab some spicier barbecue sauce. But in this case here, I don't want to do too much because we've got a lot of flavor in the rub. Just kind of brush her on. You might need to add a little bit more sauce here to get that nice caramelized top coat, but let's see here how this goes. Make sure you brush it everywhere. And you can see here how even with just a little bit of sauce on the top, it really coats it nice and evenly with when you're using one of these brushes. So really good idea to purchase one of these if you don't have one already. Also, because it's so soft on the tips, it really doesn't take away too much of the rub. If you use like a hard brush or a spoon or fork to try to spread it out, or even a knife, you're gonna scrape off a lot of that bark that's on the top. So this here's a pretty good way of doing it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna increase the oven temperature to a broil actually. So we're gonna do a custom broil. We're gonna turn it down though to about 480. We're gonna start that. Let that heat up first before we put this in. So this is gonna cool off just a little bit. But the reason why we're doing this is because I want the temperature of the inside to be at 480 already. Because really all we're looking to do is get a nice like caramelized coating on the top. Alright, temperature should be good now. So just gonna go take this whole thing here and just plop this right on in. And we're gonna let that sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You see right here how it's like caramelized. It's almost like baked on barbecue sauce. That's exactly what you want right there. Alright, so right here are beautiful ribs. Nice and cooked perfectly there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our tongs here. We're just going to come in and slice these ribs up. Oh man, barely even have to cut them. They just come right apart. It's perfect. There we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and plate this here. So we're going to grab a few pieces of ribs, and oh, I can tell you right now, I already smell the bourbon on these ribs. So I'm going to have 4 pieces of ribs and some potato salad tonight. So I'm going to go grab that potato salad. Alright folks, there's my meal. I got my 4 ribs, my potato salad. Let's go ahead and chow down, shall we? Alright guys, I got my meal here. A nice cold glass of ice water. So I'm going to go ahead and chow down here. And I got some Iron Man playing. So I'm going to go finish watching that movie. And yeah, finish up my night. But I appreciate you guys watching. And hopefully I've got some more videos coming out here more often now that I'm kind of getting in my groove a little bit. So let's go ahead and dig into these ribs, and I'll catch you guys later. Yeah. Some good ribs fall off the bone. Look at that. You literally peeled up right off the bone. Catch you guys later.